My name is Ben Knowles from East Coast Yacht Sales, and in this video it's a continuation of our Axopar 37 educational series talking about the holding tank system and its practical uses on board the boat. So please take a look and hope you enjoy. So first things first, when you want to use the head, you want to make sure that your service battery bank is on. Battery switch is right here. So this particular boat has a separate head compartment with this partition here. You can also have this be more of an open space, but here is your JABSCO head and its controls are right here. Each switch has pretty clear labels on its usage. So this top switch is a momentary switch, which adds water into the bowl and empties the bowl at the same time. And then these rocker switches here, you can either empty the bowl or add water into the bowl. And then the holding tank itself is located, you can see some head hoses. The holding tank is located right in here. We've got this hatch opened up just so you can see the location of the top of the tank. And then as far as any sort of gauge and levels on the tank, on this electrical panel right here, there is a waste tank sensor, which illuminates when the tank is 75% full. If you watch any of my other videos, you'll know that any sort of tank level sensor is very much so a trust but verify sort of thing. I don't totally pay attention too much to this, and nor do I wait for this holding tank sensor light to come on. What we pretty much do is just pay attention to how much we use it, and if we've been using the holding tank, many fuel docks will have a pump out station, and what we'll do is we'll just empty the holding tank using the pump out, and I'll show you exactly where that fitting is. Or another alternative for emptying the holding tank is when you are fully offshore, greater than 3 nautical miles offshore, you can do what's called the overboard discharge, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But first, let's go take a look at the deck fitting. So this deck fitting here is where you can do the pump out. What you just do is you untwist this, and then you can put the suction hose up on this deck fitting. So that's the most common way to empty the holding tank. The holding tank size is 21 gallons, so it's a pretty good size. You're not emptying the holding tank all too much. But I'll show you the alternative way, which has a few more steps involved with it to do the overboard discharge. So let's go take a look there. You first need to make sure you're opening up the sea cock to allow the wastewater to exit the boat. The location of that is right underneath here. It's actually this hatch right here. So what you do is you open it up here, and this is the through hull for the holding tank. So you want to open up this valve. There is a slider here which can lock this valve in the closed position. If you do get boarded by the Coast Guard, and just in general good practice is to leave this valve closed at all times. If you get boarded by the Coast Guard, they'll want to see that this valve is closed. But if you're going to do an overboard discharge and you're greater than 3 nautical miles offshore, you open up this valve here, and then I'll show you where the switch is to empty the holding tank. So going back to your electrical panel here, there's a momentary switch that's labeled macerator. And when you are offshore and you're utilizing the macerator pump to empty the holding tank, what you need to do is just listen to the pump itself. You want to hold this switch down for a good minute and a half if you've got a full holding tank to empty it. But you know that it's empty when the RPM and the pitch of the motor goes up. So when you're pressing this button, you want to be paying attention to the motor itself to hear for the RPMs to rise, to know that the holding tank is empty. So it's pretty straightforward and simple. And just for fun, I'll show you, while this is not necessary to really know, behind this seat back here is where the physical electric pump is. You can remove this seat back, and there's a little panel that you remove just to get to that macerator pump. if you need to service it for any reason, but it's not really much of a maintenance item, but just good to be aware of where that pump is. And certainly when you have the pump on, you'll hear it and you'll know that it's in this vicinity of the boat. And when you're using the head and you're speaking with your guests about how to use this head, what you do want to do is use marinized toilet paper. You can pick it up at West Marine or anything like that. It's just a very lightweight and easily degradable toilet paper. But in general, these heads are really great, and it's a very low fuss part of the boat. I hope you found this educational video helpful. If you have any questions for us, do feel free to reach out using the information below this video.